Do you want to do the intro or should I?
Movies.
Top
That's it.
10 movies. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's a beautiful intro.
That's perfect.
So, I'm a big movie guy. I just took a very aggressive sip of my water.
Yeah, no, I watch movies too.
Yeah, well, my favorite movies, all right, consist of. Just kidding. We're not gonna get into that too fast. But I love movies. Movies are amazing. I prefer a movie over a book on any given day. I will do a movie.
I completely agree with you.
Movies are just amazing. They're just the greatest thing that's ever been made. I like a bunch of actors too. There's a certain movie I'll watch. Like if it's got a good cast, I will definitely watch it. I will definitely watch
Mario
the movie.
Jack Black.
Yeah, the Mario movie. I actually might see that just because it's got a stacked cast.
I'm going to watch it because it has Chris Pratt,
Chris-
Jack Black as
Bowser. Dude. Bowser, yeah.
And I can't believe Chris Pratt plays a 40-year-old plumber Italian man.
Okay, he's got to be in his primes though. There's no way he can go flipping around the city.
How old is Mario?
You're googling it.
He's 40 years old.
There's no way.
That's pretty cool though.
I gotta say though, my favorite movie of all time. All right, here we'll build into this. You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna give it right away. But today we're doing top 10 movies that we've seen. All right. I don't have a list of movies I've seen, but
I'm making my list right now.
I haven't seen any rated R movies.
I've seen PG-13.
Yeah, PG-13 is as far as I've gone. I might have seen. Hold up, I need to check this out real quick. I saw Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks, but I used VidAngel, which is the filter, the movie filter. So it bleeps out, or it doesn't really bleep, but it just silences the bad words and it skips through all the bad, the terrible images and stuff.
I don't know. I don't know what my top favorite movies are, because I honestly, I just like Marvel movies, and that's basically all I watch.
All right. Yeah, I just checked. Catch Me If You Can is PG-13, so I haven't seen any rated R movies yet. I don't plan to, but I mean, with VidAngel, things you can turn a PG-13 movie or a rated R movie into PG. Let me see. I'm gonna make a list here on my phone because I'm recording the screen capture and I can't go into any other tabs or else it's just gonna pick that up. So
I'd say one of my top favorite movies is probably Endgame, which is a very good movie in my opinion.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Tom Hanks. That's all I'm gonna say. I've seen 26 Tom Hanks movies. Tom Hanks is amazing. He's a great actor. Two Oscars, well deserved.
Anything you need to know about me is if you are watching a Marvel movie and you want me to join, I will gladly
go see the Eternals on Saturday, but we're renting out the whole theater just for ourselves for my uncle's birthday party. So we're literally it's just gonna be us in the one theater watching the Eternals. Okay, I just gotta say though, before we continue, Dune is an absolutely phenomenal movie in the theaters. I don't think it's even close to as good as it was in the theaters. If you watch it on your flat screen TV, it doesn't matter. You have to see it in the theaters because the speakers around you, right? The drums, the sound effects, they shake your seats. It's amazing. Hans Zimmer wrote the soundtrack specifically for the theater. It's just so incredibly obvious. And the visual effects, best visual effects I think I've ever seen. It was a masterpiece. It was a cinematic masterpiece. The acting was great. The VFX were great. The music was great. What else was great? The dude sneezing in the theater was great. Honestly, best dude I've sat next to in a while. Blake's even worse. So.
Person that sneezed in the theater, if you were watching this video,
thank you.
We love you.
Yeah. Thank you for your hard work and dedication to sneezing in the movie theater.
To make everybody else have a terrible time.
Dude, thanks for sneezing. All right. We appreciate you.
I'd say one of another favorite movie that I have is probably Free Guy. I don't know if anybody else has seen that movie.
Oh, I want to see it. Ryan Reynolds, is it good?
It's so good. The comedy, it's like it's perfect.
Storyline though, how is it storyline?
I wouldn't say it's good, but it's not bad either. It's like in between. It could use
Right.
a little bit of work.
I heard Dan TDM's in it.
Yeah, Dan TDM's in
And
it.
some other
Laserbeam.
Dude,
Yeah,
no one
a
cares about
bunch of other
Laserbeam.
people.
What you mean? Dude,
Yeah, no,
overrated.
I 100% agree.
Who's the most overrated actor you know?
Overrated.
I gotta say, I haven't seen very many movies, so I probably won't judge him. But based on what I've seen so far, I think DiCaprio is kind of overrated. But that I've only seen like 2 movies with him, so I mean, I'm not one. I'm one to talk for sure. So I'm not one.
I would say Chris Pratt. If you're all gonna hate me for this, but like I don't get why he's like he doesn't have any sort of accent that does anything like. Yeah, no, I think it's Chris Pratt.
Bill Murray's on there for sure. He kind of just does the same thing over and over again. Like, expression-wise. He can act, which is good, but he's never done anything performance-worthy that's great. I don't think he's won an Oscar at all. I'll have to look it up, but I don't think he's won an Oscar, and honestly, it's not very surprising. Because he's a good actor, but he hasn't done anything that's pushed him beyond his limit. Like, made him turn into a different character.
Yeah.
That's why I think Tom Hanks would be on there had he not done Forrest Gump and Castaway. Because Forrest Gump, he performed really well as this autistic kid from, wherever the heck it was, Missouri? I don't know. Misery?
Yeah.
Wait, Misery? No, it's not pronounced Misery. My bad.
Misery.
Miseri. Or Y. But let's get on to the movies, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like we spent enough time introducing this topic like any good podcasters would.
I've already said 2 of my things. So,
Well, let's start off with
let's
worst
hear you.
movies. What are the worst movies you've seen?
Worst movie. Mario, the 1993 Mario movie, terrible.
I forgot that one existed.
It's so bad.
I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the really old one, a while ago. That one, actually, it was very similar, like filming, cinematography-wise, it was very similar to that 1993 Mario movie. Is it 1993? I don't know. It was very similar to the old Mario movie. So I'm excited for a new one. Hopefully Nintendo redeems themselves. The worst movie I think I've seen, like, from a long shot, Incredibles 2 was terrible. Like, they just...
The Incredibles
Yeah.
one was... I loved it.
I loved Incredibles 1, but I think Incredibles 2 was a terrible follow-up. It was like, you wait 14 years and year difference. And it was like, we're gonna get a really cool bad guy, a potential, like, the Underminer. We're gonna get a really cool potential bad guy that could keep the Incredibles
Yeah.
normal. We're just gonna dig him underground in the first 5 minutes, and that's gonna be the last you see of him. We're gonna introduce this new person and everything. And it was, the scenes at home were hilarious. The comedy in that movie was great, but the storyline was just terrible. I felt
I
like.
hated it. I'd say the second movie that I hate the most is probably the Nut Job. If you know that movie.
Yeah, Will Arnett, dude.
I hated it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the second one sucked even more. The
No.
story, like it had the first one had a decent story, but I don't think the actors really fit the characters. And then they just came out with a second one that was way worse than the first one.
I never saw the
I don't
second
know.
one. I didn't want to.
It didn't fit my cup of tea, as the Britons say it.
Oh my gosh, the B movie was like, the comedy was amazing in the B movie. Jerry Seinfeld, I'm surprised he honestly said yes to that role, but they just stopped trying on the human animation. DreamWorks just got lazy. They stacked the cast and then went, all right, we're not gonna animate humans. We're basically gonna animate them like Toy Story 1 in 1995 human animation. which was really good for the first 3D animation movie of all time.
But
But
then
it
this came
sucked in the
out
B movie.
in 2007 with terrible human animation.
Are you serious? Dude, DreamWorks, get it together. All right.
Get it together.
Okay.
DreamWorks.
They definitely rebounded with How to Train Your Dragon, the trilogy.
Yeah,
The third movie wasn't as good, but the first two, How to Train Your Dragons, were amazing.
Masterpiece.
Yeah, they were good. They're definitely on my top 20, but I wouldn't say top 10. But worst movies so far for me, The Incredibles 2, B movie, and I have to say this is a Tom Hanks movie. You probably haven't seen it. It's like a romance. It's called Splash. It was terrible. I just skipped through like half the thing because I didn't want to see it. Maybe I missed all the good parts.
1984.
Yeah, it was terrible. 1984. It was not good.
I look up Splash and I get that.
What? Hold up.
And I,
Hold on. He sent me this. I'll just put it on the screen, but he sent me this. That's crazy.
I'd say another bad movie is probably Shark Tale. I hate it.
No, actually, I've seen it, but I don't remember it.
Like, why would they have Will Smith in this?
Yeah.
I don't even know how. They have Jack Black in this movie.
What?
And somehow it was given a 74% liked, basically a 4-star.
I want to see
that
this
was
movie now. I
terrible.
want to see this movie because it's got Jack Black and Will Smith, Mr. 2018 Rewind and Bowser. I honestly want to see it.
Shark Tale.
Yeah, I do.
It's terrible. I don't know how they got the actors here.
All right, so let's see. I got Incredibles 2, the B movie, Splash. The Da Vinci Code wasn't that good. It was
Never
quite
seen that.
boring. But I mean, mystery-wise,
seen
it kept you in. But there are just so many parts where it was just not unnecessarily like this low monotone voice speaking, and it was at night and everything. And
Boss Baby 2 was terrible.
I never saw it, but I liked the first one. I never saw Boss Baby 2
A
though.
masterpiece. But then my sister wanted to watch Boss Baby 2,
Oh no.
so we went. My dad got it on the the TV, and we watched it. And I honestly, to be honest, I left halfway through the movie. It was just so boring. It was like the same movie except worse. There was nothing really different about it.
Oh, Harry Potter, number 5. I just didn't like how dark it was. The actress of Umbridge nailed her part. She nailed it, but it was just so dark, and it's my least favorite movie out of all 8 Harry Potter movies. There's 7 books, but they
Yeah.
made 2 parts for the 7th one. But I don't like number 5. It was the Order of the Phoenix was not very good, and they killed off spoiler warning, but they killed off Harry's uncle and everything. It was so upsetting, because now the
Yeah.
dude's basically just all alone. He's got literally no family left. He's like
My mom
orphaned.
On Halloween played as that character, and she just ran around saying, "I killed Sirius Black." And it's just like,
She was
okay,
Bellatrix.
we get it. You said it like 8 times. And the
Yeah.
worst part is I was Harry Potter that Halloween, and I just had 20 people stare at me in just confusion, like, is this your mother? Or is like, it was so embarrassing.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
I don't really have any more movies written down.
I was a toilet for Halloween once, but that's not the topic. That's not the topic of today's podcast. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that in a later episode. But I'm just letting you know. Stay tuned for that one. I was a toilet for Halloween. But moving on, we got
Let's get in.
the B movie,
movies we
Incredibles
like.
2, Da Vinci Code, Splash. I'll do one more. Because I've
I don't
seen
have
some
any.
pretty bad movies, but I've seen a lot of good ones. Toy Story 4 could have been better. I didn't like the way it ended. All of Toy Story.
I think Toy Story 1 and 2 were good, but then
Yeah.
it just went downhill.
Toy Story
Because
3.
if you haven't, it was it was so dark, honestly.
Yeah, Toy Story 3 was kind of dark. Like, we almost left the theater when we were watching it. We were watching this back in 2010. It was, or whenever it came out. I remember going to the theater and us like basically crying our eyes out because when they were about to go into the flames, not because it was scared,
Yeah.
like not because we were sad they're gonna die, but it was like, oh my gosh, this Lotso dude just abandoned his bros, because we thought Lotso was actually friends with them at the time too. And I was crying my eyes out because the music and everything was like bah, bah, like destroying your ears, and it was okay. Yeah, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, terrible. I don't think it was a very good ending. They should have ended at Toy Story 3. And Toy Story 3 was a little dark. But I gotta say, my
They should
top
have
5.
ended with them burning in the fire.
Oh, have you actually seen? Wait, hold up. Have you seen that meme where they literally modified the disc of Toy Story 3
and they cut it off after that. Yeah, that was terrible.
They faded it out to white, and then they just played the credits like sad music, like sad "You Got a Friend in Me," and they showed it to their family. Their family was like, "What?
What? And they're
Huh?
making a fourth one?
Well, they did, and it sucked. But I gotta say, top 5 worst movies. Number 5, Toy Story 4. Number 4, Da Vinci Code. Number 3, Splash. Number 2, B Movie, and number 1, Incredibles 2. Those are my worst movies. What about you?
I only have 4, which was
That's
the
fine.
Mario movie 1993, The Nut Job, Shark Tale, and Boss Baby 2.
Yeah. All right. Now we get on to the let's
The
do a real
movies
quick.
that are actually good.
Well, let's do a real quick trilogies. What's your favorite trilogies you've seen? Just rank the trilogies you've seen. Cars. Wait, no.
I
Hold
love
up.
Cars.
I'm going back to my list. All right. Remove Toy Story 4. Replace it with Cars 2. Cars 2 sucked. Okay. That's it.
I
Like,
loved Cars, just the first one. It was the
first one
most
was amazing.
beautiful thing I've ever seen.
and as a car nerd myself, I love cars. Like actual cars.
When-
As a car nerd, I got so many. Like I grew up to be an amazing man. See, I'm 15. I'm already a genius, and
I'm
loved-
the youngest Albert Einstein.
I just recently watched Cars again, and I got just about all the car references that were in there. They animated things to look like car parts. They mentioned things as car parts, and they looked just like them. It was so cool. Like the giant mountain in Radiator Springs, the one that has the R on it. That's an air filter. It looks so cool. And then V8's Flo's V8 Cafe. That's a literal V8 engine with spark plugs and pistons.
When I was little, my mom actually got me all of the Cars toys, like anything. I asked her
Same.
I had a birthday when I was 3 or something, and we built these cardboard cars, and we ran around doing races. It was the best day for me.
Anyways, back to trilogies. Ranking the trilogies I've seen: How to Train Your Dragon, number 1. Best trilogy I think I've seen. Then Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is really long. We tried watching the whole thing on New Year's Eve. We started at 4 o'clock and we didn't even end at 12 o'clock. We ended at 1. It's that long. And we watched not back to back. We took a little break to celebrate the 12 o'clock, turning to January 1st. But other than that, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is good. The storyline never wavers. It's they kept the storyline the whole time because it's Tolkien. He wrote the books and he's a really good author. But then there's Cars. Cars is a really good trilogy, minus Cars 2. But Cars 1 and 3, I feel like they match perfectly together.
I would say Lord of the Rings is a good trilogy.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen all the movies 8 times. I would say Star Wars. I don't know if that counts as a trilogy, but the last ones weren't really good. But
Well, you gotta say
loved it.
which trilogy. The first 3, the 3 in the middle, or the last 3 that just recently came out.
The last 3.
Those
I
were
love
good.
the originals.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited they're making the new series with Ewan McGregor. I loved
They're
Ewan
making a new
McGregor
Star
as
Wars?
Obi-Wan. Yeah, they're making a new series called Kenobi on Disney Plus. It's great.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited for that cuz I love Ewan McGregor playing Obi-Wan Kenobi. I was so sad that they just ditched him after the Phantom Menace Attack of the Clones, Clone Wars. I think it was Attack of the
That
Clones.
looks interesting.
And then Return of the Sith. The worst Star Wars movie I think I've seen. Return of the Sith wasn't really great. It wasn't.
Yeah.
They were kind of trying to
some of them
rush. I feel like
Yeah.
they're trying to quickly put everything into place to set up the first Star Wars, the original, like 1960s. I don't know.
All right.
Top 10. Time for top 10. Now that we spent a lot of time talking about
Trilogies and
yeah.
bad movies.
Don't worry, we'll put chapters in the description for you guys to just skip through around the podcast. But time for top 10. Let's hear it, Toddles. Let's hear it.
Well,
I've talked way too much.
I said two of them. I said Free Guy and Avengers Endgame, and then on my third one I said Mary Poppins, the original.
Oh, dude, I'm with you.
Fantastic.
Mary Poppins is actually really good. My favorite, I think one of my favorite movies that'll be on the list is actually the story behind Mary Poppins. But I'll let you continue.
I love that movie. My mom made me watch it because like I don't know, it was something school related, and she made me watch it, and I just fell in love with it. I loved it.
The movie, yeah.
And then my fourth, I would say it's more of a recent movie, Jungle Cruise. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I saw it.
The comedy,
Agreed.
the effects, it was fantastic. And then for five, any Spider-Man movie. I love all of them.
Or the Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Mans.
Spider-Mans.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I rank this number 6 just because it's a good and bad movie. But I love the Peanuts movie.
Yeah.
Very good movie.
I like it too. Dude, now that you're mentioning all these movies, I'm having to rethink my choices because I thought they were set in stone, and now I'm like, oh gosh, oh man.
Dude, like, dang, these are all good.
Yeah.
My on number 7, I would say Ready Player One.
I haven't
I don't
seen
know
it,
if you've seen it.
but I do want to.
It's rated PG-13 for many reasons, but it's a good movie.
Yeah. Let's see. That's 8. No, that's 7.
Yeah. No, I'm doing 8
So
right
now
now.
for number 8. Yeah, now for number 8.
I'm like speedrunning, trying to find.
No, that's fine.
I'm like,
Take your
I'm
time.
digging the bottle of the bottom of the barrel in my memory. Oh, actually, I love the Detective Pikachu movie. I
Nice.
loved it. The animation, it was perfect. The story could use a little bit of work, but I loved it. Anything else I would say? I don't know.
Number 9 right now. Let's hear it. Oh, go.
Oh, go. Do you know the movie Onward?
Yes, I do love that movie. Pixar.
I ranked it as number 9 just because, one, I barely remember the movie, and two, the actors, the story can use a little bit more work, but it's a great movie overall.
Yeah. And then number 10. Let's hear it.
Number 10, I honestly, I don't really know if I like this movie. Have you seen the new Black Widow movie?
No. I haven't.
It's like, you could say it's good, but it's like people hyped it up, and then it was so bad. The story was slow. There wasn't action as in the other ones. I wouldn't watch it again, but yeah.
Okay. That's a pretty solid list. All right, I'm gonna work down. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna work my way down. I'm gonna go top 10. Let's see. Number 10. The Peanuts movie. Charlie Brown. It's classic. I'll watch that movie like any given day. Mainly Sundays. It's a good calm movie. Because Sundays are like calm days.
I agree.
I think it's a great movie. Number 9. McFarland USA. Kevin Costner. He's incredible in that movie. But it's a great. I love those based on true stories story movies, like the ones with comeback stories, like Stand and Deliver, McFarland USA. There's a couple more that I keep forgetting about. Whatever that one is called. Blue Miracle, I think. The Netflix original, but they're all really good. But McFarland USA it's a great movie about this high school cross country team, where Kevin Costner's character comes to town. He makes this cross country team, and he ends up spoiler warning, but also incredibly predictably helping them win first place in the big competition at the end of the movie. And of course, the underdog story, the big dude, the overweight kid pulls in he does. He pulls in for the win. Like, just all of a sudden finds a second wind and just sprints his way out to the finish line. Ends up winning them the race. But that's a really good movie. So, Peanuts movie, McFarland USA. Now for number 8, Interstellar.
I'm just gonna send this in our chat just so you can use that later, I guess.
Oh, yeah? Oh, thanks, bro. Alright. But yeah, number 8, Interstellar. I think Matthew McConaughey, he did really good. His acting was incredible. I think he really did portray a lot of good emotion, but also the rest of the crew, like, oh gosh, I hope I'm not saying her name wrong. I think it's Anne Hathaway. I think. She wasn't bad either in that movie, but I think real hats off to whoever played the young Murph, the little girl. She was incredible for a child actress. Timothy Chalamet, he's in Dune. He was in that one. He played young Tom. He got bigger, of course, and now he's in Dune.
Yeah.
Like, which is a really good movie. Which leads me on to my next movie, Dune. Yeah. Number 7, Dune, which honestly, he starts clapping. Honestly, I would say Dune, it's probably going to be a lot different. I'm going to watch it again for sure, but not in a theater, because I want to see what it actually is like, not in a theater, because in a theater, the experience is incredible. That movie is meant for the cinema. It's meant to be in loudspeakers on a big screen. Because the sound effects, they move your seat. The music, it moves your seat. The acting was really good. It had a pretty good cast. Dude, Stellan Skarsgård, he's making a return in his career. Honestly, he was a really good bad guy. But he wasn't in a. He for a while he wasn't very popular. But then there's I forgot his name, Josh Brolin. He was actually a pretty good character. I liked him. Jason Momoa, he plays Aquaman, also really good. Like everyone in that movie did incredible. Rebecca Ferguson, I hope I'm saying her name right. She did incredible as well. It was a really good movie. Hans Zimmer, he did even better. That's probably he made that soundtrack for the theaters, and you can tell. He made it for like good headphones, good speakers, but not just like your phone out loud on a school bench trying to let everyone know what it sounds like, because my brother's done that multiple times. But I think, yeah, Dune was great. But Stellan Skarsgård, he's definitely coming back, and I can't wait for part 2, because that was Dune part 1. One thing, Zendaya wasn't in it like at all. She's listed like second on the cast in Google, but she was barely in that movie. But she'll be in it for sure. In Dune Part 2, she's definitely going to be a main character. Like, I think she's going to be the lead role in Part 2, along with Timothy Chalamet. But Stellan Skarsgård, I'm excited to see him make his comeback. Which also leads me to my next movies. Number 6, Pirates of the Caribbean 1. He was actually Stellan Skarsgård wasn't in that one, but Pirates of the Caribbean 1. He's in the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy, which also is a really good trilogy. I probably should have listed that on my trilogies. But Pirates of the Caribbean 1, dude, Johnny Depp, great role, the perfect role for him. And Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley, they also did really well in their roles. Whoever plays James Norrington, I forgot who plays him, but he was really good. Like I think I'm gonna be James Norrington for Halloween next year, honestly, because I liked his character that much.
Nice.
That's where that's got to be the best pirate I've ever seen. Like, so it would seem. And then dude like riding on 10 rafts.
You just have like a electric scooter that has cardboard around it, making it look like a pirate ship, and you just crank it up the full and zoom your way to the next house.
That's a great movie though. The comedy was amazing. Johnny Depp carried in comedy, but also Jack Sparrow.
I very much like
Jack Sparrow
Pirates
was
of the
meant for
Caribbean.
him. He was meant for Jack Sparrow. It's kind of like a big Robert Downey Jr., where Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark and Tony Stark is Robert Downey Jr. Just like Jack Sparrow is Johnny Depp and Johnny Depp is Jack Sparrow. It was perfect. But yeah, number 6. That was it was a really good movie. I love Pirates of the Caribbean 1.
Nice.
The soundtrack was also good. Hans Zimmer again. Hans Zimmer has actually done a lot of the movies I like. Probably because I like Hans Zimmer, so I'm gonna watch a lot of his movies. But we're moving on to top 5 for my list, which I've spent so much time on this. Like, I'm analyzing everything I've noticed. But oh gosh, now it's getting difficult. Make decisions. Draft Day. Kevin Costner again. Draft Day. It's got some language. That's why we had to watch it with VidAngel so it blacks out the bad words. But if you're a big football fan, you're gonna love Draft Day. It was.
Okay.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, you probably won't get it if you're not if you're not a sports or a football fan, then you probably won't get it. But it was really good. I'm glad they chose the Cleveland Browns of all teams to be the main characters, because the Cleveland Browns in football, like, they were terrible. The year Draft Day came out, they were terrible. Like, I think they've gone 0-16 a couple times in their franchise. They haven't won a single game in a season, but I like that they chose the underdog team, and the end is where it all comes together. You just gotta wait for the storyline to develop, but the end is where everything comes together. It all makes sense in the end. It's one of those movies for sure.
Nice.
But Draft Day is great. So that's number 5. Number 4 is The Martian. Matt Damon.
I've seen The Martian. I don't know. I just. Don't get me wrong. It was a very good movie, but like it didn't fit with me. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of space or spaceships. It just like.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I love space. I love galaxies and everything. I wanted to be an astronomer, and then I realized they make like absolute goose egg money, so I ditched that quickly because I sadly need food to eat, and I really need food, so and I also hate the cold, and sadly I live somewhere where cold comes in a lot, so. But
yeah, of course.
The Martian, really good. Matt Damon, it was great for him being on the screen for like more than half the movie. It's also got some language, but not as much as Draft Day. But that's number 4.
That brings us to your top 3.
Yeah, number 3.
Alright, anyways.
Oh great, I had this laid out, and I had my top 3 movies, and one of them left me. Like,
oh no.
One of them left me. I have 2 movies that I'm certain. But number 3, I'm not. Oh, Hidden Figures. Also Kevin Costner. But he's like more of a side character, but he's important in it. But Hidden Figures, another true story about three black women that end up working at NASA, and they send a man to space. And like one of them plays the key role in that too. Because the astronaut, he literally would not go to space unless he got confirmation from that one black lady to that everything was good. That's why I love the movie so much. It's in Virginia, which is a segregated state, and it's during segregation times, but like during Martin Luther King. Right, I think it's before his "I Have a Dream" speech, which is also really good. But I like Hidden Figures because space, but also the acting is really well. It's really well done.
Yeah.
The cinematography is good. The music, also good. It's also Hans Zimmer, now that I think about it. Pharrell Williams and Hans Zimmer and Benjamin Wallfish.
Nice.
All 3 of them did really well collaborating. But Yeah, Hidden Figures is a good movie. I suggest you watch it. It's got Bible words, but nothing terrible. But I suggest you watch it. And finally, number 2, Saving Mr. Banks. The story behind Mary Poppins.
Saving Mr. Banks.
I suggest you watch it, Toddles. It's really good. It's got Tom Hanks and Emma Thompson.
I haven't heard of this movie.
It's incredible. It's the story. It's about the author of Mary Poppins and her 20-year struggle with Walt Disney on trying to get to sign off on film rights for them to make the Mary Poppins movie, and how personal the character Mary Poppins is to her. How the story, like the Bankses, she says the Bankses are family. And the good thing is Walt Disney also had because he created Mickey. Mickey was also family to him, so he could relate to P.L. Travers, which is the author of Mary Poppins. But Emma Thompson and Tom Hanks, they did great together. But one guy that was very underrated in that movie, Paul Giamatti, he played Ralph, the taxi driver or the limo driver for P.L. Travers, and he was in it for a short amount of time, and sadly he wasn't a real person. But he was definitely my favorite character in that movie.
I might watch that movie later.
Yeah, it's good. It switches between P.L. Travers' childhood in Australia, like where technology
Australia?
is something. Yeah, to her. It's like 1900s is when she was like in her childhood. She had her childhood experiences, which inspired Mary Poppins, and like the trauma in it and everything. Because there's some yeah, there's not like, I wouldn't call it incredibly graphic images. It's not even graphic at all. I think it's like PG. But yeah, it's got it's disturbing images is what they call it. But I honestly wouldn't call it disturbing. It's got really sad. It's got a really sad part in it, but I won't spoil it because you haven't seen it. So, but the music also good. Thomas Newman, underrated composer. He did really well. But that brings me to number 1, which is A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, with Tom Hanks.
Oh.
Tom Hanks again, but Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers, which
I think I've seen this movie because
it was great. It was great. It was based. It was like based on a true story. It wasn't actually a true story, but it was kind of like inspired by a true story is what the word is. About this guy, he's having like family issues. He ends up getting an assignment to write an article on Mr. Rogers, and Mr. Rogers proceeds to give him like 4 months of therapy, like without it being incredibly obvious.
That makes me remember that it's sad that he died.
Who died? Oh, Mr. Rogers. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But he didn't like, honestly, he was good, just like Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross is also good. Yeah. But that movie's by far my favorite, cause I don't know why, but there's this one song in it with Lady Aberlin and Daniel Striped Tiger where they sing the what do you do with the mad that you feel. I love that song. Like, I sing it to myself every time I'm getting railed by a kid in Bed Wars, but
Wow, that doesn't sound.
Yeah. Because rather than slamming my desk, I will proceed to sing Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood instead of destroying my monitor.
Yeah.
But that's by far my favorite movie of all time.
And then that brings us to the end of the podcast, because I actually have to go.
Yeah, no, dude, write down a list. Write down a list, or I'll write it down. I'll write it down. You can leave. But thanks for joining me, my guy. Good times. Good times.
Tune in like a week from now. I don't know, whenever this video is uploaded.
I'll actually probably upload it tomorrow, like from when we film it, cause I'll just cut out some parts and add in a couple things, but other than that,
and add in like some background music, and then you're just good.
Basically, that's how it's gonna work. We're probably gonna do some more podcasts. So we also got Mr. Blake and That Darn Duck that'll do podcasts.
Which hopefully will be in the podcasts.
Yeah, so it's gonna be members of the Scream Team. It won't be all 4 of us, but just members. Like me and Toddles did it one today.
Rarely.
Blake and I want to do one like on sports. I'm sure Duck and Blake have music to talk about. You and I, honestly, I feel like we relate because
Yeah,
we spend a lot of
we're-
time playing Bed Wars together. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, honestly, we can have 3 of us do one together, 4 of us. It's not interesting with just one of us, so it won't be just
Yeah.
one of us. But we'll get a lot of these out. We'll just be chill about it. So, thanks for watching, y'all. Thanks for sticking around as long as you did. If you
Thanks
made
for
it to the end.
listening or
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
watching.
Honestly. Yeah. Listening, I think, is better. Because, like, it's just our Discord profile pictures and a couple
Yeah.
images on the screen every once in a while. So, yeah, I'll get this out as soon
Probably
as
gonna
I
be a
can.
lot of images of the movies, but
Yeah. But that was actually really fun. So we'll definitely do more of these.
I enjoyed that.
Once we get a little bit more popular, we're gonna do our origin story of how we all met, which Toddles explained to me today, a really crazy coincidence that I never
And
put together
he's
until right now.
He's still surprised.
Yeah, I'm still surprised. It happened like 5 years, not 5 years ago, 3 years ago.
It happened like 2, maybe 3.
3. It was 3
when you
for
were
sure.
still very small.
Yeah, no, but I was so surprised when he told me about it. But yeah, that's how things it do be like that. But thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, Toddles.
Thanks for listening or watching. Probably listening, but
Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully we'll have more people. So
That'll be nice. Yeah.
so long, people.
So short. Get it? So long. Ha. That's so funny. Okay, bye.